Okay, today I'm going to talk to you about American attitudes about government and politics. And so today, talking about this is the core beliefs of Americans. And it's challenging to pinpoint the beliefs that every one of us shares, but generally, political scientists have identified five values that are generally embraced across the spectrum in the United States. And those include individualism, equality of opportunity, free enterprise, the rule of law, and limited government. So I'm going to go through each of these and kind of define them a little more expansively. So the first one that we seem to share in this country, what we seem to value, is that of individualism. And so what does that mean? It's the value that tends to emphasize self-reliance and independence compared to other Eastern cultures that tend to prioritize the community. Americans tend to prioritize the individual. So we seem to appreciate the person, the cowboy, the Horatio Alger, the individual who pulls themselves up by their bootstraps, but acts in a very individualistic way. And so we like that about Americans. And, I think a great example of that might be our presidential candidate, Donald Trump. He absolutely represents individualism. And that's, I believe, part of the reason he's so popular in this country. Another belief is equality of opportunity, and that's the idea that every American, regardless of race, ethnicity, sex, religion, or any other factor, deserves an equal chance to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. And so you can see the difference between equity and equality. And so this is our value here, equity. Whereas we don't believe in we of course we value equality, but in terms of opportunities, we want everyone to have a fair shot. And we don't necessarily value the idea that everybody gets the same thing in our society. We like kind of the merit principle in our country generally speaking here. We strive for a country without special classes or hierarchies. Now, remember, these are all dreams or aspirations, not necessarily reality. We know historically that certain groups have not had access to equal opportunity, but over time, it's gotten better certainly than where it was maybe 100 years ago, maybe 70 years ago. All right. Here's another core belief that all Americans tend to value, and that's free enterprise. And so, what does that mean? It means advocacy of minimal government intervention in the economy. So, we generally favor a laissez faire approach where the forces of the free market supply and demand will shape economic outcomes. We don't like government controlling our economy. We believe in, again, kind of the market based approach to capitalism, and most Americans, like I say, this is a very strong core value that we have. The idea too that anybody can start a business in this country and hopefully succeed. Another core value is the rule of law, and that's the principle that all citizens are equal under the law without any special privileges. Keep in mind, this is an aspiration. It's not necessarily reality. It's the assurance that no one person is above the law, from a poor farmer to a former president. So anyway, if this is reality, I mean, we can judge that. And remember, these are things that we value, and that's not necessarily what we actually enjoy in this country in terms of everyone equal before the law. What about limited government? Most Americans absolutely believe in a government with well-defined boundaries and constraints, and through the separation of powers and checks and balances that we're so accustomed to from very early on in our education. Most grammar school kids can talk about separation of powers and checks and balances, and this is a big value that we hold, that in fact our government cannot just run away on its own and do whatever it wants to do and maybe oppress other people, etc. We believe that a constrained government is absolutely valuable. What about the interpretations now? I just went over about five different general values, but of course, from our ideological perspectives, we may define these values very differently. So the interpretation of these values among conservatives and liberals vary distinctively. So conservatives, for example, these are the general descriptors of what conservatives and liberals believe in. So just to remind us, so conservatives cherish established institutions and seek to preserve them. That's why they're called conservative, conserve our institutions. They tend to advocate for smaller government that provides fewer services to the public. Whereas liberals push for new reforms to create a more just and equitable society, embracing change, which is why they are called liberals. Sometimes they're referred to as progressives, meaning they embrace change. So to illustrate this further, let's examine how conservatives and liberals interpret the 5 core values. So regarding individualism, conservatives tend to uphold a self-centered individualism, which prioritizes individual interests over societal interests, okay? So it's really about the individual. I kind of spoke to that related to, again, the person who pulls themselves up by their bootstraps. The individual through merit is able to achieve, all he or she can achieve through their hard effort. Liberals tend to embrace quote unquote enlightened individualism, which emphasizes the interests over society over individual interests. So in a way, what liberals look at is like, well, how is the society as a whole gaining? And it's not about so-called selfish individualism. It's about keeping an eye on the community and making sure that the community can grow together. So it's quite a contrast between the two views. How about equality of opportunities, the difference between liberal and conservatives on that? In terms of equality of opportunity, while it's a value, meaning everyone has a fair shot, conservatives believe in meritocracy, where everyone's success is determined by their individual efforts and hard work. Kind of repeating myself from the last slide, where liberals, while they do value meritocracy, they're going to say that not all groups start on the same equal footing. The level playing field. They would contend that, in fact, historically, there have been groups that have been very much disadvantaged and for a variation of reasons, including racial bias. And so liberals would say we need to equalize opportunities for those who have faced historic systemic disadvantages. Free enterprise. On the topic of free enterprise, conservatives would support minimal government intervention in business affairs and favor approach. There we go with laissez-faire, government hands-off. Whereas liberals related to free enterprise would say, in fact, there has to be an appropriate level of government regulation to ensure that there's workplace safety and equity. I mean, we know about the progressive era where there were lots of reforms related to, the government establishing working hours and safe work conditions and all of that. Liberals would say, in fact, we need government for those purposes to ensure, again, that our businesses are safe and equitable. All right, how about the rule of law? So both conservatives and liberals would agree on the importance of the rule of law, but conservatives would say, let's focus on the equality embodied in the laws themselves. Let's make the laws extremely strong and fair and equally applied, et cetera, et cetera. Conservatives would say, yeah, as long as the laws are good, then people need to observe the laws and everything should perhaps be fine with that. Whereas liberals would say there's an unequal application of laws, particularly concerning minority groups. So it doesn't really matter what the laws say. In fact, if they're not applied equally to different groups, then they're not necessarily just, as Dr. Martin Luther King would say. All right, what about limited government? Conservatives would advocate for strong boundaries and federalism, aiming for less government interference in people's lives. Again, that's what conservatives value, where liberals, to a greater extent, would believe that the necessity of government intervention is needed for the greater good of society, and can point to different historical examples where government had to intervene. All right, so to summarize, Americans generally share 5 core values, but conservatives and liberals offer differing interpretations on them, which leads to divergent perspectives on government and politics. So it's important to note that this is a simplified overview, as there are various interpretations within each ideological group. I had to rush through that before my bell rung, if that makes sense.